Do you guys remember when leveling was fun?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
What's going on, guys? I'm Skunk Monkey, coming to you again with another classic video. This time I'm going to be dropping a few tips for you guys on making the most of your leveling experience. If you follow some of these, you'll decrease your time to level, increase your XP per hour, and generally have a more fun and rewarding leveling experience. Without further ado, let's get started. One thing you'll realize really quickly if you've never played vanilla WoW is money is incredibly tight. Not only do mobs and quests reward less gold, but due to the fact you actually have to purchase your spells, you'll find yourself broke pretty quick. Remember to shift loot everything when you first start out, and visit vendors and sell all your crap. Occasionally get some uncommon items or rares, greens or blues. Save those items and put them up for sale in the auction house. You'll probably make a lot more money if you would if you were just selling it to a vendor. Now, while selling everything will make you a lot of money, keeping food and drink will help you immensely while you're leveling. Minimizing the amount of recovery time, that's the time spent out of combat, can be crucial for efficient leveling. Food and drink let you top up your health and mana between every kill, keeping you in the fight and gaining XP. The items tend to be common drops off humanoid mobs, so keep your eyes open. If you're a melee class, though, you can probably sell the drinks. You're not going to need mana anyway. Notice I said gathering. These professions blend pretty seamlessly into gameplay as you level. I mean, you'll always see herb or mining nodes no matter where you go, and you can pick these up along the way as you level and sell your stuff on the auction house. It's a great way of making gold for your first mount. Alright, I've gone against my first tip a couple times already, but along with food, drink, herbs and ores, another thing you want to save is cloth. Now, leveling first aid as you level is another easy way to decrease your recovery time. You can switch off between eating food or bandaging between every other pull, really maximize your efficiency. At least buying anything anyway. As I said in tip number 1, money is really tight. I know that piece of gear perfect for your level and spec looks really tempting, but don't fall for it. That small amount of gold is better spent saving for a mount or purchasing skills, believe me. Is that new weapon at 35 worth it when you're level 45 with no mount because you spent all your gold? I don't think so. Certain classes are a lot more demanding to level than others, especially if you're planning to play solo a lot. Rogues and warriors, I mean, these are amazing classes, but they're pretty hard to level solo. If you're new to vanilla or WoW in general, try picking a hunter or a warlock. Both these classes have access to pets that are an absolute boon when you're leveling. It's pretty much like always having a little buddy following you around willing to tank everything for you. They take the damage and not you, which decreases that magical recovery time we talked about. If you played on private servers, you usually see in the rush to 60, a hunter will almost always win. These quests can inject a little bit of flavor and give you an incentive to explore the world, but they're pretty much a waste of time. They kind of serve as a breadcrumb for the player, saying that like, hey, you should go talk to this person. There's probably lots more quests where they are. But if you try to exclusively complete these quests, they usually involve a ton of flying, waiting for zeppelins or boats, and lots of walking. And when you get there, the XP you get really doesn't even make all that travel time worth it. You're going to be seeing everything out in the world anyway. You're just going to discover these quest hubs organically as you level without the need for a quest. WoW is an MMORPG after all, so there's lots of extra incentives come with having friends to play with. While the XP is going to be split among party members, quests still deliver full XP, and with a group of solid players you can tear through multiple quests in no time. Also, having a friend is sometimes mandatory for group quests. Wanted posters and quest hubs usually direct you to take down a difficult elite mob. These quests give out the best rewards, so there's lots of perks in making friends. I know what you're saying. Skunk, please, why Spirit? I am Warrior, lols. But hear me out. While Spirit may be the black sheep of stats, it's still got a lot of usefulness for anyone leveling. Now, Mizoto did a really good video on this, I'll link it in the description. But to sum it up, he ran a pretty well thought out experiment on the viability of the Spirit stat, even for melee classes. What he found is up to a certain point, actually stacking Spirit, even on a melee, is incredibly powerful. You can go watch for yourself. He found the perfect combination of class relevant stats and spirit, and he's able to take down mobs still pretty fast, while at the same time regenerating his health almost back to full in only the time it took to walk to the next mob. He didn't need a drink or bandage or anything like that. He just killed mobs and walked to the next one, regenerating his health like Wolverine. It's pretty awesome. If you're leveling a rogue and you see these silly cloth boots drop with like 15 spirit on them, you should probably try them on. As you'll see when you initially start leveling, you'll see your class trainers make new skills available to you at every even level. I know as you're leveling, it's tempting to like run back to your capital city, but you're going to spend a huge amount of time traveling that could be better spent killing mobs or completing quests. Trust me, if you're using a skill or a spell that's like one rank lower than the rank available to you, it's not going to kill you in the long run. Resist the urge and stay on the field. Now, speaking of traveling for skills, the few instances where you do want to go buy your skills as soon as you level is when you hit a level ending in 0, meaning level 10, level 20, level 30, etc. The reason for this is some of the coolest spells in the game become available for your class at this level. It's worth taking some time to train these. They can dramatically increase your damage, utility, or travel speed. You also see when the zeros are when your class quests usually become available, so don't forget to pick those up too. I can't tell you how many times I've traveled an absurdly long distance to a quest hub, used my Hearthstone to go back to Ogremar or whatever, and then discover in horror that I have to walk all the way back because I forgot the flight path. Always keep an eye out for the green exclamation point when you arrive at a new hub, because if you forget, you're going to be really pissed. Certain specs are a lot easier for leveling than others. Some are pretty obvious. Leveling as a holy priest or a prot warrior is going to be really tedious. Sure, you might never die, but when it takes 10 minutes to kill a mob, you're going to be really sorry. Others can be a little less obvious though, like rogues for example. All of their specs are awesome and give access to powerful attacks or cool utilities, but some are a lot more situational than others. Assassination, for instance, is optimal when you can always be behind your target. That can be really tough as a solo player because mobs will always turn to face you. In this instance, you'd probably want to go combat to level. Try to find the spec that gives you the fastest time to kill with the best recovery time, and you're good to go. If you're sitting down and planning a nice, long, no-life questing session, keep an eye out for a mage. They'll be able to conjure food and water for you to use as you quest. You'll save a ton of money as opposed to buying food or drink from an innkeeper. If you want to be courteous though, don't forget to tip. Don't run dungeons until you have at least 2 quests pertaining to that dungeon. While the temptation of fat loots and harrowing adventure can be alluring to some, most of the time they're just a bigger time sink than they are an efficient way to level. Between forming a group, getting that group to travel to the dungeon, killing the mob, splitting the XP, maybe wiping a couple times, might be more trouble than it's worth. There's certain quests though, like the ones involving the Scarlet Monastery, where taking some time to form a group might actually be pretty lucrative. Not only is this set of dungeons a ton of fun and iconic, but the rewards from the quests, such as the Vanquisher's Sword, are really hard to pass up. Retail incentivizes using the same armor types across all slots and give you some sort of bonus, where vanilla didn't really matter. As long as an item had a relevant stat to your class, it really wasn't uncommon to see druids and paladins in cloth, warriors and shamans in leather. The differing armor levels between the types were pretty irrelevant to most classes, aside from a prot warrior or paladin. They need all the damage mitigation they could get. Your Hearthstone is without a doubt your most efficient means of travel in vanilla World of Warcraft, so set it smartly and use it often. It can save you a ton of time to set your hearth in a newfound quest hub where you know where you'll be staying a while, and you can just teleport back if you need something from the capital city. Conversely, it can also save you a ton of time if you're a fan of the auction house or leveling particularly fast, and set your hearth in a capital city. Set your hearth wisely and use it as a guide for when to turn in quests or set up for new ones. Do I use my hearth now and go back into town for this new awesome quest reward, or do I save it for when I finish the rest of these quests and I can get a bunch of XP? Questions like this that you have to ask yourself add another layer of strategy and complexity to the game that can be really engaging. If you're in a lull between quests, starting to feel the grind, take some time out rolling alt. Not only is it a fun way to switch up gameplay and try a new class, it can also be super handy as an auction house mule. As you get new bind on equip items that can be pretty valuable, you can mail those items to your alt character and sell in the auction house. This can save you a ton of travel time on your main, as well as freeing up a lot of bag space. Log your alt out in a capital city and have yourself a nice little auction house mule. Kill everything between accepting quests, completing quests, and returning quests. I mean, it's going to be really tempting to run decidedly back, especially if you got a quest that's got a really good reward that you're really excited to get, but do your best to be an absolute harbinger of destruction everywhere you go. Kill everything you see, because the more you kill now means the less you have to kill later. This can help prevent the dreaded vanilla quest drought, meaning the dead zone in between certain levels where you've completed all the quests in a zone, but you're still too low level to accept the quest in the next zone. This is a nice segue from the previous tip. If you're feeling especially bloodthirsty sometime, take a little time out to find some mobs that have a very fast time to kill for your class. If you're a melee class, that can mean a caster type mob with paper thin armor, or slower, easily cuttable mob that can dance around as a caster. Grinding out a half or a quarter level here and there will distance yourself further from the aforementioned quest route. It's been 15 years, but you'd be surprised how many people don't know about this. Logging out an inn puts you in a rested state, where your character accrues rested XP the longer you log out. Rested XP means your character will be awarded double experience gain for monsters. This was actually a really innovative quality of life enhancement that set WoW apart from its competitors back in the day. It was a means for people to catch back up to their friends if they didn't get as much playtime. You can get a maximum of a level and a half of rested XP, so don't forget to log out an inn or a capital city, as a level and a half of double XP can be really helpful, especially later in the game. Now, the current meta of retail leveling is running across half the zone, pulling everything in your wake, and burning everything down as much AoE as your class can muster. In vanilla, this was assuredly a signature on your death warrant. Sometimes you'll find yourself getting overwhelmed if you have to face even more than one monster at a time. So being slow, calculated, and strategic in fighting monsters can be the difference between an officially done quest or a time-consuming corpse run. I'm probably going to get lynched for this one, but if your focus is leveling, PvP's not going to do you any favors. Aggravating someone from your rival faction, unsolicited attacks, or even a slash root or a slash spit can be enough to trigger even the most mild-mannered adventurer. Nothing's more infuriating than trying to finish your quest and getting corpse camped for 3 hours because of your liberal use of emotes. Don't fight unless you have to fight back, and don't attack someone if they're fighting mobs if you don't expect the same thing done to you. However, if you're particularly bored and want to take a break from questing, feel free to fly to Stranglethorn Vale and gank the shit out of everybody. If you followed some of my first tips, this shouldn't be a problem. As soon as you ding 40, make sure to travel back to your race's specific racial mount vendor and enjoy taking one step up from scrubdom as you pimp around on your mount. Not only does a 60% movement speed increase drastically decrease your leveling time, it's an important milestone in your journey that was a momentous occasion in the vanilla days. You knew if you leveled and saved enough gold to get your mount, you were officially a dedicated WoW player and could be proud of your achievement. Now this one's going to be a little tough if you don't know what to look for, but there's several quests in the game that involve items that are actually sellable in the auction house. Certain items such as the Charms of Binding in Arathi Highlands or the Wastewander water pouches in Tanarus can be sold on the auction house for a decent amount of gold. These items are needed to complete lucrative quests, so you might just find yourself making money off them. Not only are these professions incredibly expensive to level up, the very act of crafting itself involves essentially long periods of being AFK. While you're crafting items, that time actually spent crafting the item is time better spent killing monsters or getting quest items, or picking herbs to sell for gold. It's better to wait till level 60 and pick a production profession that best fits your needs and playstyle. Now I'm going to take even more heat for this, but stay out of BGs if you want to level effectively. While yes, Battleground quests do reward XP, you're only receiving that XP once you're at the end of the Battleground, and you won't be getting any from killing players. While it can be fun to go to BGs and blow off some steam every once in a while, if your plan is to level in BGs, buckle up because it's going to be quite the grind. Stay off roads when first entering zones and try to uncover all parts of the map as you make your rounds. Exploring the full map can help you uncover important landmarks, as well as give you a nice bump of XP when you discover a noteworthy location. This gives you an incentive to go off the beaten path and explore, as much of the map will stay covered if you stay on the roads. This aligns with tip number 8, as it's always fun to play with other people. General chat will be your primary means of communication with other players, so if you're stuck on a quest, or confused about gameplay element, or just feeling chatty, the general chat window can solve a lot of your problems. Use it often and make friends. We've worked so hard to get to this point, guys. While leveling fast and getting a max level can be really fun and quite the rush, the true essence of vanilla is the adventure along the way. The leveling experience of vanilla World of Warcraft is absolutely peerless and keeps me coming back time and time again just to enjoy the process. Soak up the sights, make some friends, and celebrate every last ding as a new achievement. So that's it for my list, guys. Did I miss any? What do you think? Even being a 15-year veteran of the game, I constantly learn new things and always welcome new knowledge to help me become a better player. Hope you guys like listening to these as much as I like making them. I mean, I'm going to be honest right now, just writing these out is caused me to have to stop and go bang out a couple levels in between tips. That vanilla feeling, man, there's nothing like it. I want to thank you guys for watching. I look forward to all the new content I got planned for you guys. And as always, if you like this video and you want to see more, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, set your notifications so you can see when I post new stuff. Hope you guys have a great day. Once again, I am Skunk Monkey. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.